I've been playing a couple of games on other platforms lately, and it got me thinking. It would be really cool to play this on the Switch, simply due to the hybrid nature of the console. It might have more to do with having a portable version of these games, but it's beside the point. The point of this video, though, is pretty much just a wish list of games I would love to see get ported to the Switch for whatever reason. Now, some of these have specific reasons as to why it most likely wouldn't happen or definitely won't happen. So consider this to be like a dream wish list and not one that's really grounded in reality. So I'm just going to shut up now and just talk about these 5 games I'd like to see ported to the Nintendo Switch. Now, the first game on this list, or number 5, I suppose, is Rivals of Aether. So if you haven't heard of Rivals of Aether, then think about it as another one of those Super Smash Bros. Inspired fighting games. I like to call them platformer fighters. In terms of the games I have played that are like this, Rivals of Aether is easily my favorite of these games. It controls well, combos are hectic and fluid, characters themselves feel unique, although some of them are obviously borrowed moves from Super Smash Bros. Fighters. I know there's another Smash-inspired fighter releasing on the Switch soon, although for the life of me I can't seem to remember what exactly that game was. But whenever that comes out, I'll definitely give it a shot, as I think it's one that I haven't played before, so that would be something. But for now, I really would like Rivals of Aether on Switch. If you are interested in trying it out, it's available now on the Xbox One and PC, so if you happen to own any one of those two systems, or platforms I mean, then feel free to give it a shot. Number 4 on this list is Cuphead. Okay, so first off, I'm aware of the deal with Microsoft to make Cuphead a console exclusive, but just put this down as one of those wishful thinking entries on the list. I mean, who knows, maybe one day it can happen. It's unlikely you haven't heard of Cuphead by now, but the game is practically beloved on the internet and it's streamed a ton and everyone's really talking about it right now. The game is beautiful, it's difficult, and with the game's drop-in local co-op, I feel like it would do great on the Switch, considering the Switch works very well with that. You can do 2 players on a single Joy-Con, whatever it may be. I feel it would work a lot. So it would probably be an insta-buy for myself. I've played it on the Xbox One. The game is easily one of my favorite games of the year. So definitely would love to see Cuphead on the Switch. That is, of course, if Microsoft is willing to allow that. Now, number 3 on this list is kind of cheating. It's actually multiple games from a specific indie dev, but it is games that I particularly enjoy that I would love to see on the Switch. So I'm kind of just jumbling them up all in one category, I guess, in one entry. You probably haven't heard of them. Maybe you've heard of one of them. The Dishwasher Dead Samurai, The Dishwasher Vampire Smile, or Salt and Sanctuary. Now, I'm not aware if the devs behind these games had any exclusivity deals with either companies, but these games are fantastic. Most people have heard of Ska Studios or Ska Studios primarily due to Salt and Sanctuary, but let's also not forget that before that game, they also made 2 games that were only on the Xbox 360 in the form of The Dishwasher Dead Samurai and The Dishwasher Vampire Smile. All 3 of these games would be amazing on the Switch. Dishwasher was sort of like a 2D ninja gated game, and I think we all know which franchise Salt and Sanctuary owes its influence. But I'm gonna avoid saying it because I'm not a shit journalist. If you own an Xbox 360, definitely pick up the Dishwasher games, and if you own a PS4, pick up Salt and Sanctuary. They're great games. My only worry is every time Ska Studios have made a game, it's been either exclusive to the Xbox or the PlayStation to my knowledge. They might have put some games on PC too, but I'm not too sure myself. Now, number 2 on this list is the Metroid Prime trilogy. And look, it's kind of interesting because this is an actual Nintendo game and not just some kind of indie game of sorts. Alright, so with that being said, this might actually happen someday, but the reason as to why I'd want this game on Switch is actually the same reason as my number 1 game on this list. But we'll talk about that game later. It's been an incredibly long time since I've played any of these games. I think a little bit over 10 years since I've played a Metroid Prime game. And with Metroid Prime 4 getting officially announced back at E3 for the Nintendo Switch, it'd be pretty fucking cool to be able to play all of them again and get reminded with the story of Metroid Prime. Maybe give us the ability to somehow switch between traditional controls and motion controls if possible. But other than that, just put it on the Switch, Nintendo. Come on, it'd be great. And let's be fair, if it gave us the ability to have traditional and motion controls, it'd easily be the definitive version of Metroid Prime. Alright, so number 1 on this list has a very special place in my heart. For some reason, I remember fondly being one of the first Metroid games that I really played on a Nintendo system. There might have been others from the past, but in my knowledge, I've only really played the Nintendo-made games on Nintendo consoles. So usually they didn't really come up that way. But my number 1 game is No More Heroes. And I'm expecting you probably thought I was going to say Super Smash Bros. For Wii U on this list. Well, yes, I do want that on the Switch, and extremely bad. I really want Super Smash Bros. On the Switch. However, to be honest with you guys, that's just way too obvious, considering how often people have been asking for it. So I decided that it shouldn't count for this list. So yeah, No More Heroes is my number 1 pick. Now, this might be slightly cheating, again, but specifically an HD collection of No More Heroes 1 and No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle. I really want this for a couple of reasons. First off, I love the franchise, but it has been a while since those games have released, and many other people have never played them. An HD release of these 2 games would also prepare everyone for the new No More Heroes coming out for Switch, Travis Strikes Again. The game could also allow us to choose traditional controls or motion controls, and unlike Metroid Prime Trilogy, I know this is possible. Considering a port of No More Heroes exists on both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, and Suda51 has said himself that Travis Strikes Again should be playable on a single Joy-Con. That tells me that the game can easily work with and without motion controls. So whatever needs to happen, just get it to happen, Suda, because I'll support the shit out of No More Heroes for as long as the game gives me that ridiculous action I crave. It has provided so much hilarious scenes, so much enjoyment on the Wii, and I want to see that same enjoyment continue for anyone who's never played the games before, and for myself just to play an HD version of these games on the Switch. So, thanks. Please make it happen. Alright, so that's all the games I really wanted ported. Every one of these games I've played to some capacity and I love, and they all have different reasons. There's not really a specific ranking, I guess. I mean, yes, there were a ranking, but they all mean a lot to me in some way. Just some of them I feel like make more sense than others. So there's that. My last one was sort of cheating, so that's more of an HD remake type deal, but whatever, it's my list, so you guys can fuck off if you don't like that. Alright, so all jokes aside, if there's any game you'd like to see on the Switch, feel free to let me know in the comments. For now, I'm gonna go play some Cuphead. Later.
Hey buddy, I'm talking to you. Thanks for coming now. Pay your tab and screw. Make like a drum and beat it. Make like a tree and leave. All your fellas and Cinderellas, I'm giving you the heat. Get the fuck out.